What if Goku and Vegeta was sent to Earth Part 2? During the 1 year of hard training, near the end of it, Goku has an idea. As he offers to Vegeta, Goku remembers the hyperbolic time chamber that Piccolo and Kami showed him. As a kid, he only lasted about a month in there. But he thinks that together, they can make it a year inside of there. And he explains it to Vegeta, the whole thing, and Vegeta would actually smirk and agree with that, as he thinks this would be great training. With the help of Bulma, food, capsules, and also Popo preparing it, they would go in for a whole year together, training harder than ever. As they would bring some senzu beans as well, Corn had some ready for them in advance, as now their power is way higher. Now before going in, I would say that this is near the end of the year when they trained because they were getting ready to go to Namek for Frieza. They had a power level of around 40,000. After training together for nearly a year inside of the Hyperbolic time chamber, they're way more powerful. So the year goes by, or a day, and the two would come out with torn armor and G, both way more powerful than before. Their tails were tucked away. As they fist bumped smirking, they were stronger than they ever thought. Now, for Zenkais and more, Goku one time had a 33 times Zenkai in the Frieza saga, just for getting beat up pretty bad. Zenkais are really irrelevant, and Zenkais are only for plot-induced purposes, so I'm going to just add that to the what if, so just ignore it. So I'm going to say injured Zenkais, because they have senzu beans, mixed with duo training, and 10 times Earth gravity, plus the atmosphere and everything in the Hyperbolic time chamber. I'm just going to say, and this is pretty much lowballing it, 200 times increase, which is lowballing considering a single near-depth Zenkai for Goku is 33 times, as during this year, Gohan and Trunks has been training under Piccolo. As yes, the same would happen with Piccolo warming up to them and, training them to prepare them for Namek, and just to prepare them for anything. Because Piccolo doesn't know that if they go to Namek, they might not be able to come back. So he wants to teach them, as he sees that they have incredible potential. And he would teach them how to self-train, train with themselves and together, and also to just learn how to fight in general. So both of Gohan and Trunks, I would say that they're around 6-7 years old, so they have amazing potential either way. Especially Gohan. Trunks is really powerful as well. I would say after training with Piccolo for over a year, pretty hard training, and also training together, they would have a power level around 12,000 each, which I think is pretty fair considering the potential that Gohan has is literally makes zero sense. Trunks is really powerful too, if they use him right. Well, because Akira Toriyama does not like certain characters. Now for Piccolo, with Piccolo having the motivation, training with these Saiyans, and doing everything else, I do believe that Piccolo would have a power level of around 50,000. Just because of how strong Goku and Vegeta was, Piccolo having the mental capacity to push himself more than ever, I think Piccolo could do it, as Piccolo is really slept on a lot in Dragon Ball. But now, Piccolo would arrive on Kami Lookout, and he would scoff seeing Goku and Vegeta. He would walk past them. Now, of course, Gohan and Trunks would be super happy to meet them. Their fathers, after, almost a year. Piccolo has a bigger cat to fish. You like that one? Piccolo would then walk up to Kami, and they already knew what they were going to do. Kami knows how thorough Frieza is, not to mention the whole army and everything, as Kami knows that he's not strong enough to protect Earth anymore. Goku and Vegeta are so much more powerful, and so that Piccolo is going to his homeland, he's going to need all the power that he can get to save the people. Now, would Kami do this realistically? I don't think so, because he thinks how evil Piccolo is. For what it purposes, we don't want Piccolo being left behind, so we're going to do a little power oomph for Piccolo. So, Kami and Piccolo would do fusion. But before they do, Piccolo, of course, would stare at him and say, I know how strong he is, but if we're going to do this, I control the ride, not you, old man. Well, Kami would nod, as, remember Kami has all the knowledge and everything, they would fuse. Now, this Kami is actually a little younger and not as weak as he was, as he got super, super sick and, near his deathbed in the Android Saga. But, early Frieza Saga, not even Frieza Saga even started yet, in the Saiyan Saga and such, I would say that Kami could still fight and stuff like that, but he's obviously not up there with the big dogs no more. Because even when he fought Piccolo Jr., he was posing as a human, and he was able to kind of, throw some hands a little bit. even though he's way older. So I'm going to just say that Kami's not at death's door yet, but he's definitely getting there. But I'm going to just say that he's a little bit stronger, so their fusion is actually a little bit stronger than before. Popo would obviously cry and be really upset that Kami's gone, and of course. But now, we don't really know the power boost that Namekian fusion does. But I'm just going to say, because Piccolo went from really struggling against the Frieza, versus after he fused with Kami, he was able to be on par with the Super Saiyan, and actually surpass it almost, because he was able to go toe-to-toe with Android 17, who was stated to be a little bit stronger than Android 18, and he was pretty much evenly matched with him. So Vegeta got slapped around like he was a toy, and Super Saiyan Goku had the same thing. So I'm going to just say that that was like a Super Saiyan almost level boost. So just to throw his number out there, I'm going to just say 25 times, putting Piccolo's power level up around 1.2 million. As Piccolo nodded, he was ready to go and fight this Frieza. As they would prepare the spaceship, they would train along the way there for the 2 weeks. Not much of a massive boost any of them would really have, but they would have a few senzu beans left just in case. They arrive on Namek as they can sense Frieza was nearby. As they would fly off to go meet him, of course the scouters would sense some pretty meh power levels. Obviously they're suppressing their power levels. They wouldn't really care about it. But then, Piccolo is watching as they find Frieza with Dodoria, Zarbon, and a whole group of henchmen, who was looking around for the Namekian Dragon Balls going village to village, and they were obviously slaughtering his people. Now, Piccolo being fused with Kami has a bit more of a connection with him as well, would really be pissed off seeing that. Piccolo's thorough, he ain't got time for this, and he can sense Frieza, and Frieza's pretty powerful, but Piccolo thinks he's even stronger than he is, so he thinks he can handle Frieza. So, Piccolo would fly in and kick Dodoria away, nearly killing him pretty much, as saving a Namekian named Dende. And Piccolo would tell him to get out of here. As Frieza was surprised, he would clap a little bit, saying that was pretty impressive. Seeing some worms as they're nothing to him, as Piccolo would glare at Frieza, the others show themselves as they tap their scouters. It would show a power level of around 10,000 for Piccolo. Frieza says that's pretty impressive for a Namekian, but says for Zarbon and the others to handle him. But as we all know, Piccolo would easily slap all of them like they were flies without even trying. Piccolo would do it in a vanish too. Boom, 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 boom. They're out. They're dead. As Piccolo would tell everybody else that you need to go, and he would tell Goku and Vegeta to take that Namekian away and just get away from here as possible. And take the Dragon Ball with him too, as yes, there was one of the Dragon Balls. Which Goku and Vegeta would do so, as they thought that the Dragon Balls were like the Earth Dragon Balls, so Frieza can just say, grant my wish or something, and that can happen. So they would get away. But now Piccolo would finally be in the limelight, and Piccolo would have his battle with Frieza. Piccolo was serious, as he would then take his weighted clothes off, and he would crack his neck, and it would boost his power level to around 2 million. This is his maximum. Now for Goku and Vegeta, Dende would tell them to go as fast as they can and get to Elder Guru, as Elder Guru can help them. But now, he would fight First Form Frieza. Now, First Form Frieza is 530,000 and is very powerful indeed, but Piccolo doesn't really need to try. Piccolo is way more powerful than First Form Frieza, as Frieza would try and punch Piccolo, but Piccolo would just vanish around and mess with him a little bit, and then Piccolo with a single gut punch would shatter his armor and make him spit blood over the place. Frieza doesn't have much of a chance. As Frieza would then scream and go into his second form out of desperation, this is when the fight would get a little bit interesting. They would trade blows back and forth, but Piccolo still was way more powerful. Piccolo was actually pretty much a lot more stronger than he was when he fought Second Form Frieza in the original. He is, in my opinion, I think, stronger than even Third Form Frieza. He can actually take on Third Form Frieza, but it'll be really close. But obviously, Fourth Form Frieza, Piccolo doesn't have a chance. But now, Frieza would go into his second form, and they would begin their battle. Very similar to the original, but just Piccolo does an easier job of handling him. And Frieza would say, I have another transformation, and he would then transform into his third form. Now, Piccolo would actually worry about this, as Frieza is pretty close to his full power. The two would clash, but Piccolo would start getting the upper hand, as Piccolo does have more fighting skill than Frieza. Fighting skill does matter in a fight, especially in Dragon Ball, if you use skill. This has been shown a lot more in Dragon Ball Super in some scenes. Piccolo is a bit more powerful, So I do feel like Piccolo would get the drop on Frieza and really start to do some damage to him. But Piccolo would be exhausted and tired as well. As before he was going to beat Frieza, Frieza in desperation would do everything he can to try and hold Piccolo off. Remember, Piccolo's trying to hold Frieza off so they can get as far away as possible and do what they need to do, and then he was thinking about escaping, but he's thinking he'd try and kill him first. But now, in a desperation, Frieza would go into his fourth form, as Piccolo was shocked. Piccolo would try and attack Frieza, but it was at no use. Piccolo would grab his arm similar way to Danail and snap it off. Piccolo doesn't have any chance, as Piccolo in desperation would use his ki as a blinding attack and he would escape, as Frieza cannot sense energy. He has to use his eyes to track them. But now, Frieza, after not being able to find them, would be really pissed, and he would fly back to his ship and he would call the Ginyu Force, as yes, Frieza knows that he can handle them, but he does want more eyes to be around the planet, and the Ginyu Force has scouters, which Frieza can use and find them. So, the Z-Gang would meet Elder Guru and Nail, who, after reading their minds, would offer to help them to get their potentials unlocked. Now, I do feel like Elder Guru would unlock Dende's potential, and he was ready to unlock Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo's potential. But before they could do that, the ships would land as they sense the power coming into the planet. The Ginyu Force arrives. Now, Vegeta said he'll go out there and handle these jokes. Vegeta would easily take down Guldo. Even though Guldo would try his time-stopping attack, it would not be enough to stop Vegeta. Then, Raccoon would try to attack him. Vegeta would one-shot him like what Goku did. And Jason Birder would be a little bit longer. You know, they would kind of go back and forth, try to do their combination attacks. But Vegeta was wasting no time with this. He easily takes them down. But then, with Captain Ginyu, they would go back and forth. But Vegeta was so much more powerful. Way more powerful than Captain Ginyu. But then, out of desperation, Captain Ginyu would reveal his Change Now technique, as he would then be able to swap bodies with Vegeta. But now remember, when Captain Ginyu switches bodies, he's not even close to as powerful as what the original user was, because he's not used to the body, he's not used to the power, and everything else like that. So he's actually a lot more weaker, way weaker than Vegeta was. So, as they would see what happened before Elder Guru knew anything, Piccolo says he'll go out there and handle it. And Piccolo was already healed at this point. Dende would heal him, or they can also give him a Senzu Bean. Piccolo would go battle Vegeta and pretty much slap him around a little bit. And it would cause Captain Ginyu to try and switch bodies with him. And Piccolo would trick them. And pretty much Captain Ginyu would have swapped bodies right back with Vegeta. Vegeta was back to normal again. And obviously how pissed off Vegeta was, Vegeta would fire an attack and completely disintegrate Captain Ginyu without even trying. So Captain Ginyu's gone. There's no Frog Ginyu or nothing like that. So now, they would all go back in there, and they would get their potentials unlocked by Elder Guru. Goku and Vegeta are both 16 million. This is a ×2 boost, by the way. Piccolo would be around 4 million, and Dende doesn't really matter, as Bulma would go to help Guru with Nail to get away with the help of Nail, as the battle begins. Now remember, Frieza would sooner or later find them because the Ginyu Force was there, and Frieza used a scouter to track them. So Frieza knows where they are. And he's been wanting to find Elder Guru all along. And not to mention Nail and everybody else. Yeah, Frieza's been waiting for this. But now, Vegeta's been waiting for this. Vegeta would go out and he would begin his legendary battle with Frieza. Now remember, Vegeta is way more powerful than even base form Goku was in the Frieza saga. He would actually do really pretty good against Frieza. And actually trade blows and go back and forth and battle between each other, actually doing a little bit of damage to Frieza, surprising Frieza by how powerful this Saiyan is. Now, Frieza would even offer Vegeta and Goku to come join him in his army. They would live like gods. But of course, they would instantly decline that, saying they have everything that a man needs. The family, their home, their children, they don't need nothing else. Of course, this would piss Frieza off. He would then say, fine, then you all taste to learn of my real power. Frieza would even go up to 80% of his power, as he's tired of this. He does not like Vegeta because of his father and everything else. He hates the Saiyans. Then he would start to beat down on Vegeta. Now Goku and Piccolo would fly in to start helping him, and they would do a lot better. Because remember, when Goku and Vegeta attack together, we stated that if they attack in sync, they are way more powerful together. So, if you put Goku and Vegeta together, they would have a power level around 32 million if they're, both on sync battling Frieza. Which would do a lot more better, but the problem is Frieza's just way too strong. Even with 80%, he's in the high 80s, in the 80 millions. It's not enough. Piccolo would try and do support, like how Android 17 did with Help the Jiren. It's not enough. Frieza is too powerful. They tried every trick in the book. It ain't working. Now, this is the problem though. As they would all stand there defeated, Frieza would mock them and laugh. As he says, when was the last time that he had a battle like this? Maybe against his father? As this was really a lot of fun for him, but he's grown tired of it as they've shown everything that they had. Now, Frieza says who to kill first. Let me kill this Saiyan, as he wants to save Vegeta for last. And he wants to save Piccolo for second to last too, as Piccolo embarrassed him in the first fight. And he wants to save Vegeta for last though, because Vegeta is the main worm that he hates the most. So he's going to kill Goku first. He would then fire a death beam. As Goku was frozen, he was too tired to move, and he could not deflect the attack, as he knew he was probably done for. But then, Vegeta would yell no, and Vegeta would push Goku out of the way, and the death beam would go through his chest, and Vegeta would fall over. Now, Goku would hold him tightly, as Vegeta was nearly crying almost, saying that you need to kill him. You need to kill him. And Vegeta's like, he murdered my father. He murdered your father. He murdered your mother, my mother. He murdered everybody. And he's still doing it again. And then Vegeta would then pass away. Just joking. As Vegeta says, he must. As Vegeta would actually go unconscious. Now, Goku thinks that he passed away. He's too blinded by rage. Goku would snap. And he would scream so loud, it would shake the surrounding area. And it would sound like a great ape. His pupils turned yellow. As a greenish yellow aura surrounds Goku, Goku would bulk up in size and even grow a few inches taller as he would stare down at Frieza. Now Goku's hair would be standing up like he was almost in like a Super Saiyan state, but a little bit different, as he would glare at Frieza with death. Now Frieza was shocked as he did not know what this power was, and he thinks that this must be like a Super Saiyan or something, because no Saiyan has a transformation like this. Now Piccolo would, feed Vegeta a senzu bean and help him. As Vegeta would get up, he watches Goku walk forward growling as he glares death at Frieza. Now Frieza would obviously mock him, saying, "Is this the legendary Super Saiyan?" Obviously just like a beast. Goku didn't even respond or nothing. Goku mid-walking would tear the other half of his top G off, being shirtless now. He would then, in a quick vanish, gut punch Frieza in a burst of speed, making him spit blood on the ground and his pupils go white. As Frieza falls to his knees, Goku would stomp on Frieza into the ground, and then grab his tail and spin and throw him away as Frieza would hit the water. Now Frieza would recover, and he would float up as Frieza would fly in, throwing a fury of combo attacks at Goku, but it was not enough. Now Goku would even stand there growling and let the attacks hit him, as it was only just moving him a little bit, but it wasn't even hurting Goku at all. As then, he would then roar and shoot a ki beam from his mouth. As it would blow Frieza through a few mountains, Frieza would get up as he was shocked, as Goku would then beat down on Frieza, worse than he ever did in any original. But Frieza noticed that there wasn't that much skill. Goku was more primal and animal-like, like a beast, doing these things. As this version of Goku is not also really thinking straight. He's a lot like Broly. He would do things that he would not originally do and take risk. He's like Berserk, and he would be eating any damage like he doesn't feel it. This is a lot like how Broly does. So in desperation, Frieza would go into his full power, bulking up in size. Goku isn't fazed by this. As they would battle, shaking Namek, Goku would charge a full power attack, and it would blow Frieza in half. Now Goku, like an Uzaru, would then start stomping and going off attacking Namek in a blind rage. Remember, Goku's still in his Akari state. As Vegeta would then walk up to Frieza without a cold expression, and he says, "Who's the strongest now?" And he would finish Frieza off, killing him. Now Vegeta would see that Goku was in that form that they unlocked in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. As a flashback, in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, both were panting as they were both using that form, trying to train the Uzaru state, as they think that they can control it in their base form. As Vegeta would then start doing it, because it's easier for Vegeta, since Vegeta is of royal family. Goku could never really get the hang of it, as he would start losing his control into the Uzaru, as Goku couldn't really control it. But Vegeta didn't really have much of a problem. Of course, the power was hard to hold in, but the rage and the animalistic state, Vegeta can handle that really without much of an issue. But now, Vegeta knows that he has to stop Goku because Goku's going apeshit, literally. But now Vegeta would take a breath and he would bulk in size like he was in royal blue with his bulky muscles, and he would transform into the Akari form. Now, how can Vegeta control it? Like I said before, he's royal blood and he can control the form a lot easier. Now, Goku never really could. Plus, Goku mixed in with the high anger and not being able to control it is a bad element making. So, Vegeta would find Goku, and the two would actually battle a little bit, but Vegeta was able to knock sense into Goku, as then Goku would revert, and he would hug Vegeta happy that Vegeta was alive. He thought that he died. As they would shake hands, and they're happy that Frieza's gone, they would meet back up, and with Bulma and everybody else, they were all happy that everything was okay. As the Namekians, especially Guru, would all thank them, they would use the Dragon Balls and wish everyone Frieza killed back. As all the Namekians were back and happy, the gang would then take the 2-week ship back on Earth. They would all meet up with their families. As Bulma, of course, was with them. Chi-Chi would then tackle Goku and put him in an arm lock and say, "Where have you been for so long?" Blah, blah, blah. Gohan and Trunks would hug their fathers, who was happy to see them. And they also want to show off their powers. They've been training super hard, so it would be like a father and son battle. But that's for later. They would all have a big old party and everything, being happy, eating a lot, as in deep space, on a spaceship, Cooler crushed his glass of wine. As his father told him what happened, both of them are going to go to Earth right away and end this issue. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.